Hello there everyone, I am Ruston, and welcome back to another episode of GTA 5 Vehicle Testing. This is part 2 of the Ruston testing, and it's coming out on Valentine's Day, of course, because this is, I don't know, this was in the car shop, all the cars were pink, so I'm assuming it's Valentine's Day. I bought it, and I kept it the pink and purpley colors, like the Valentine's Day-esque colors for this. But what we're doing here is we are going to be doing the second part of the ultimate vehicle testing, which is this. This is a mud course. The track that I'm going to follow goes up here, around, up here, over this jump, down here, through these turns, over here, through here, around these curves, around this outside one, back around, and to the start-finish line. We're going to be doing 5 laps in every car, and we'll be taking the best lap. I was going to do the average of all the laps, but I think we'll just take the best lap that we get. And that'll be the time that it gets. So we'll then combine that with the time that we get, well, not combine it quite, but the time that we get driving fully around the map. We'll have a leaderboard for that, we'll have a leaderboard for this, and then we'll decide what the best vehicle is. For me to drive, at least. Because we're doing this in personal vehicles. I'll get started here. The time starts every time I cross that bump. Now, of course, my main goal for doing this all is to just know, or to drive all of my vehicles, because I have a lot of personal vehicles in this game, and I'm only going to keep getting more, and I know that a lot of them are not going to be driven much, if at all, so I want to kind of, also, I think I mapped out the course wrong there, but I want to kind of make sure that I drive them all at some point in time, and so this is my way to kind of do that. Is to make sure that I drive every vehicle I own in this game. Plus, I just enjoy driving in this game. I enjoy driving, period, but especially in this game. And I think that an on-road plus off-road test is the best way to kind of gauge how good each vehicle is. We got the on-road, of course, that's the whole going around the whole map thing. It takes us through the city a bit. It takes us on the highway. We got top speed runs. We got little handling bits from dock back to the dock. This is the off-road, so it's all off-road oriented. Not necessarily top speed runs, but handling, suspension, grip, all of that all plays into factor here. And then using these 2 tests, plus if you guys can think of any other tests for any vehicles, do let me know. These are just the 2 that I have thought of over time. But I think this is a good way to gauge what vehicles, like how good vehicles are. I would rate them on like a scale of 1 to 10. I'm not going to really bother with that. We'll just have leaderboards. You guys can decide for yourself based off of watching me drive them and how they do on the leaderboards, quite what, I don't know, almost ranking they get in a sense. So there's 1 lap. We got this bump here that initiates lap number 2. Now I'll slow down a little bit for this turn. So this still has kind of the on-road, off-road feel, but this on-road is also kind of off-road. It's got a lot of dirt on it, but it's broken up with a bit of tarmac. It's got a little bit of a top speed run there, sharp turn there, sharp turn here, and then this turn leads you into the mud. And then now it's just all off-road after this jump. It's kind of fun little course that I've mapped out here. I believe I've done videos on this course in the past. I don't know if I necessarily did like vehicle testing like this, but I know that I've done stuff like this in the past. Also, obviously, I'm in GTA Online. This is not one of the 3 characters, and this is not a vehicle I don't think that you can get in single player. I am in a private lobby, however. But if you do want to ever see me try one of these, maybe I'll do reruns in like the same vehicle, where I won't worry about timing it or anything. I'll just see if I can do this stuff. But in a public lobby, do let me know. I'm also thinking about potentially doing the 15-minute series again. I did like 3 episodes of that before I lost my GTA account. But that was fun. You just have 15 minutes to do something in GTA Online, and the whole point of it was to not get blown up or killed or messed with by any other online players. Fun concept. I didn't do too much with it. I did a little bit with it, but then I lost my account. That was a bad turn. That was bad. Then I lost my account, so I didn't really get a chance to do much. So there's the first run from a rolling start that we've gotten done. Now let's see if we can do better. This is lap number 3 of 5. Hopefully what I'm doing is I've got a timer in the top, probably top right-hand side of the screen. And I have the timer, and then under it I have maybe the best time that I got. And then I'll keep changing it depending on what the new best time is. Kind of my plan here. We'll see if I remember to do that or how I end up executing it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking along the lines of that somehow. So the first 3 episodes of this, I really wanted to release them on the same day, but I'll try to do them pretty near each other, I think. I've got a lot of videos to edit, of course, and I'm recording this one on February 8th. So this series is kind of taking priority over my other ones. And I still have 2 more vehicles I'd like to test, because I do want to do like a 3 off-road and 3 on-road, like kind of introduction into this, kind of, where I just upload the videos all on the same day. You guys get the idea of what we're doing, and then I'll have a leaderboard at the end of that 3rd one. Of course, this is the first one, but my little Valentine's Day gift to all of you will be the comeback of GTA, because I do have other videos already pre-recorded on GTA. I feel like these are going to go up before those, though, and I don't know if I mentioned them in the last video that we did with the Ruston. Not sure if I mentioned them or not, but I very well might have. Man, I'm so bad at in-air control. If I did, you already know what they are. If I didn't, then you won't know what they are until they get uploaded, so stay tuned for those, because... Oh, it's the first time I've hit something, I think. Hammering it a little harder. Yeah, stay tuned for those, because there's some fun things, some fun ideas that I've got when it comes to heists and contracts. I'll give you that hint. It has to do with heists and contracts in this game, or like little missions, any of that. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. It's a series where we do heists and contracts and missions. That's all it is. Specifically, we're starting off with the auto shop contracts. I would like to get all 10 of those done in the series before I do anything else. But I don't know if we'll end up doing that. But it's mini-series all put into one big series, kind of. So, like, for the auto shop contracts, there's 2 contract setups and then the actual contract. So it would be like, for instance, the bank heist, part 1, part 2, finale. And then that'll all be part of its own little series. So there'll be 3 parts to each, but it itself is going to be a sort of little series that we end up doing. And I think it'll be good. I think it'll go well, and I think that hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So, of course, we'll see at the end of the day if you guys are enjoying it or not. It may not stick to the channel for long. I've got other series that do pretty good. I'm just looking to bring GTA back. And I'm hoping that this series does decent, because I think it's a fun little thing. It's a fun little idea that I've got. This jump is gnarly. That second one there, rough. Alright, this is lap number 4 completed. Now we are on to the final lap of the test, and we are going to go all out for this final lap. So, Ruston, what I've realized, handling not as good as you'd think it is. I mean, granted, we're off-road, so it's about probably what you'd expect. Oh gosh, probably what you'd expect off-road to this extent, because this is pretty off-road. This might be the most off-road you can really get in this game, easily at least. But it's doing decent for what it is. I know not many of the vehicles are going to have quite a difficulty off-road. Maybe like if we end up getting to like the Indy cars in this game or something like that, they might have a difficulty. Or like street motorcycles. But overall, I feel like nothing's really going to have too difficult of a time doing off-road, because a lot of the vehicles do just have to do off-road in their normal day-to-day gameplay in this game. There's a lot of off-road in some of the missions and stuff, and I mean, you're using supercars or weaponized vehicles for the missions, and you got on-road and off-road to do that. So I feel like that's kind of, you know, a given. That they're gonna need to be a little better off-road. And as I said, once I get an office garage, the way that I'm gonna do this to keep track of what vehicles I've done is I will put all of the vehicles that I've tested in my bigger garages. So I've got 10 car garages right now. I'm going to buy an office garage soon. That's a 20 car garage, but it can go up to 60. And so it'll store all the vehicles that I've already run on this. That way I can keep track of what I've done, because it's not like it'll be too difficult to keep track of what I've done. Let's just hammer it. We don't need to break at the end here. This is the last lap. Ooh. Nice. All right. Yeah, it's not like it's too difficult to keep track of what vehicles I've ran on this, but putting them in that office garage will just keep it track even better, and then it'll help me know what vehicles are the best. That was it. That was 5 laps. I think that last lap was probably the best one. I could be wrong there, but I think we did pretty good. You guys will see a leaderboard at the end of the video, getting to know kind of how they did, and I believe the outro will also be in that end of the video leaderboard. But just in case it is not, thank you guys for watching. We are going to do this sort of thing with all of my vehicles, so stay tuned for that. At least as many as I can get through. Hopefully the series does well and I can keep doing it, because it is fun and it's a neat little idea to kind of test out the different vehicles in this game to know which one truly is the best vehicle to drive. I don't think I've ever been over here. This is neat. A little bit of a different route. Not quite the route I'm taking, because I like that top speed run that we start off with back there behind us. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. That's it for the Ruston. The next episode we do will be in a different vehicle. The first 3 vehicles that I'm doing, this is going to be considered the fast vehicle. I'll have a mid-range vehicle, and then I'll have a kind of slower, bigger vehicle. And that'll be the first 3 we do, kind of introduce everyone to the series. But yeah, guys, so like I said earlier, I just remembered this after I recorded that last segment. There's no leaderboard for the first episode or the second episode because there's no reason. We haven't run enough cars. So after the 3rd episode, we'll have a leaderboard. But we'll do an outro for this one. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe button. Do let me know if you enjoy the series, because I think it's pretty fun to record, and I hope that you guys are enjoying watching it. If anything, to get knowledge of the vehicles. I'm pretty sure these are stock. I'm not 100% sure, and I know that all the vehicles that I run will not be stock. That's why they're all my personal vehicles, not just tests of the vehicles in this game. Also, I have a ferret trying to climb a fireplace behind me, so you might hear that in the background. I apologize. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, this has been Ruston on GTA 5. Next episode we do will be the same thing, but a slightly slower vehicle. So yeah, goodbye.